Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. Okay, we've got a bunch of stuff sitting here, all these bits and parts and pieces, and we're going to try to do our best to get this put together. I'm actually going to take off my sweater here because I think I'm going to catch on things. And there's a little bit of static rolling around here, so there's a lot of stuff going on, but hopefully it'll go together pretty quickly. This is going to be very similar to a piece that I had done before for the autumn journal, which I never did finish, with pages that pull out. Let me just move some of these things to the side. I want to kind of try to keep them together because they are together. Well, sort of. They're together in a pile. Let's get rid of our pretty butterflies. I just wanted a pretty opening scene. We'll put these guys, I don't know, we'll put them over here. I got pieces over here. These are going to go on. The one that I had done previously, I had done it without this bottom piece, and the pages pulled out from in here. Okay, these were the pages. They were underneath and they pulled out this way, and then you could go that way. These are going to pull out from over here. On the sides. So same concept, but different. So what I've done so far, this is the base page that I'm going to put the whole piece on. There's nothing on the back yet except some tea stain. I edged the paper, the tea stain paper, with this digital, and then this paper is going to go on top of here. Now this is its own page right here. I had another page right here which I just folded these flaps back. What I did was I took it to the sewing machine and I sewed across to give myself 4 pockets here. The deal was though that I wanted also a pocket here. So of course after I sewed it, because I could have sewed it before, but I thought about it after, I was like, oh, I sewed the pockets closed. So I had to rip out the stitching here. So it is stitched here to make the pocket, and it is stitched here at the end. It's not stitched here so that I can have these pockets here. So I took out the stitching. There is holes, but we're going to cover those. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put together basically, let's put together the piece. Let's do that. So we're going to glue this down, top and bottom, but before we do, we're going to take this and we're going to put our pieces that are going to pull out on here. Okay, so we're going to glue them on, and then they're going to be able to be pulled out. So we want just that little edge that's showing, just enough for us to grab and pull it out. So let me just kind of review what we're doing. I'm going to turn it this way. I cut this paper, okay? This is the paper that you're going to pull out, but the glue has to go around here and around on the back. It's going to get completely glued down, but it's got to go around the edges here. So I wanted to make sure that I left enough room so that it could be glued without interfering with this piece. So this piece could still pull in and out, okay? And that's explained in the other video, in the autumn journal one as well, how and why that's done. And I go into a little bit more detail, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, on actually how to cut it. So you know, it's really just a rectangular piece of paper, and then you just cut this little notch and this little notch, and that's all there is to that. So we're going to try to put this together the way it's supposed to go, which is this way. So let's try to do that. I'm going to keep that like that, working upside down. And we're going to glue this on here like that. Okay, and then this is going to get glued. I think that's right. Let me just try to remember, because that's stability, and that pulls out and that goes back in. Okay. Think we'll be okay there. Let's hope I don't mess this up, guys. All right, to my 3-in-1. So we've had some pretty cold weather today. Some snow. They were predicting more snow, actually, and like 4 to 8 inches, but that kind of stayed to our south, and we got more sleet and some ice and stuff. So we only had a few, maybe, no, I don't know, maybe 3 inches, 2.5, 3 inches of snow, 2 inches of snow. 2 doesn't seem like that, like it was enough, you know, for my walking around in it. But 3 didn't seem, it seems too deep, so I'm not sure. But it's something like that. Okay. And we're going to take this and we're going to carefully try to glue it to the edge. And I may be a little out of your sight here. Glue that down. Now I kind of made this up last time. I'm gonna get my card. Where's my card? There it is. And I did not go back and rewatch my own video. You think I probably would have. It would have been wise, but I didn't. So I just want to get, there's just a little, not that this matters because this is going to kind of be glued down, but okay, I think I'm going to start laying that on its side. There we go. All right, so there's the first one, and this is the way it should work. It should work. Okay, I'm going to have to fold that back a little bit more because I've got it too far over the edge, and that doesn't really much matter. I mean, how far back I fold it. And again, you're probably not really seeing what I'm doing, but I'm trying to bring this in on the edge a little better. Oh my goodness, I've got glue on my ink on my fingers. Okay, there we go. Oh, I should have speaking of ink, I should have inked it first. Let me bring this. Okay, I'm gonna have to fold this one forward since I folded that one back. Try to get that. I don't need it sticking out too far because I don't really want it sticking over the edge of the bottom page here. So that's not too bad. Okay. Now the unfortunate thing is you'll see the extra folds, but I think we'll be okay. Actually, that doesn't look bad at all. Okay, so that's what we have, and that would pull that out like that, and then you can write on either side. Okay, so that one's good. Let me look at this one. I want to just make sure that I get this in the right place. I'm blowing these little things all over, and I'll tell you a little bit about those too. I'm just going to fold that back so it's a little easier for me to see on this one. So yeah, so we got more cold weather, and I was reading, I get these little blurb things online from Farmer's Almanac, and I think it was in January one had come out that said traditionally, basically, January is the coldest month for us up here, but February is the snowiest month. And I was like, well, I don't like that. However, by default, if January is the coldest month, it means February is warmer. So if we do get snow, hopefully it'll melt away a whole lot quicker than the snow that comes in January. So we're hoping. I'm hoping. All right. So I'm going to try to do a better job on this one. I'm going to get my fingers covered with glue, but that's okay. And I'm going to stick this maybe not quite exactly at the edge, but ever so slightly, just a hair inside. And try to get rid of some of the glue now on my fingers. Put that in the garbage. Okay. And then let's go ahead and try to smooth this down. Okay, now this is going to be one of the centerpieces for one of the signatures, and I said there's 5 signatures in the book. I do want to get these little corners because I don't want that interfering. So the one centerpiece, or center spread, I guess I can call it, is the hidden pocket one that we first was the first thing I believe I did for this journal. And it was similar to something I had done in my the Pauline's journal, which you found in the ongoing saga of Angela Kerr, because somebody had asked me could I replicate all of what I had done in Angela's friendship piece. And Angela had recreated my tuxedo pocket, but I had this whole flippy floppy kind of spread that I had sent to her. And a couple people had asked if I could show how I did all of it. So I had a journal that I was working on for someone that was a swap. So I decided that I would put one of those pieces in her book. And okay, so this is what we have. So that's going to come out this way. This one's a little crooked, but I think I can straighten it out. There we go. And then this one is going to come out. I've made it crooked. I've made it straight by making this crooked. This is the first one, I think. Is it? No, I don't think so. All right, there we go. I probably just cut the paper crooked. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, there we go. That is good. Much, much better. I actually think I want this to come out a little further, so let's bring that, because the other one's out a little further. Okay, yes, I think. Okay, yeah, that's better. And that's up. Okay, so that's going up. So this is going to actually be stitched, well, not stitched, but, you know, sewn in to the book. This will be the center signature, or one of the centers of one of the signatures. So that's what we have here. And I want to make sure that we are doing good. All right. Whoops. Okay. So now what I want to do, I do want to glue down here. And yeah, that's good. I'm going to glue down the center here, and then I'm just going to glue the top across here and the bottom across here, and that's it, because we want these to be able to come in and out. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with the glue, and I'm going to do that with this so that I have a minute to play. Get rid of that. Oh, you know what, let me get this out of the way before I glue the wrong thing. So I have a minute to play with placement. So let's go ahead and get this, and we don't want a whole terrible, I mean, we want enough, but we want to stay close to the edge. I'm not really squeezing glue out now, I'm just sort of spreading out what's here and picking up the excess, I hope, off onto the nozzle. Because we don't want that glue coming up and catching on these pieces that are going to fold out. Okay, so we'll get that. Yeah, so I moved my the computer that my husband has been working on, my computer that I told you had a broken hinge, and now the whole thing is broken because he completely took it apart to fix the hinge, and he's been doing all kinds of stuff to it, and I'm not sure if it's going to work again. I really don't know. It's my hope that it does, but we'll find out, I guess, once he gets it finished. Or hopefully he'll be able to get it finished. I'm hoping he'll be able to get it all back together. So we'll see. Okay, I'm just going to kind of pull this from the side. I want to make sure that's up. That's up. All right, let me get those doilies out of the way. And I'm going to stand up here, and I'm going to do my best to get this where it belongs. Now, there's no guarantee I've got this right. Ooh, oh, I think I've got it right. What do you know? Okay. Oh, it's a little too low. Hang on. Hang on, hang on. Grab it here and shimmy it up. About there. There. And am I still in the center? It would appear so. I think I got it right, guys. I think I've got it right. All right, let's kind of get something here and we'll try to press it down. I want to go, I don't want to pull at the folds, you know, like at the pockets and pull something up that I shouldn't. Okay, and then we'll just hope that we haven't glued the papers in. Okay, before I go pulling out the papers, I'm going to let that sit for a minute, okay? Because I don't want to yank on the, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so there we go. So these will pull out this way, okay? And then they're not as easy to tuck back in, I see, this way. Okay. All right, so tucking them back in may be an issue. Okay. It did work better the other way. The things we come up with. Let me fold this. Hang on a second. There we go. Okay, so folding them back in is going to be a bit of an issue. That it will. The other one worked much better. The logistics of things. Okay. I think if I play with it enough and I pull it in and out, I'll give it kind of a paper memory. Okay, so we do that. Okay, it's not that hard. It's just a little trick of tucking it and then pushing it back in. Okay, okay. That will work much better next time. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to put these, I'm going to start putting these tags together. Now, these are pretty simple. Let me move these over. They're going to go this way. There's 4 of them. That'll go in these pockets here. And then we have two tags that are going to go here. So let me just push this to the side. Now, these I did on this. Let me pull one out here. This is dry wax paper is what they call it. It's really like parchment. I think it's a little thinner. And I tea dyed mine. And all I did was I just laid them out on the table and I took paintbrush or pastry brush and I make tea in a container and I just brush it on. I just brush it on. And then I flipped it over and I did the other side. And I just let it do that, you know, dry on its own that way. I leave them on the table and let them do that. So then I, like you would with tracing paper, or anything else that you're going to print on that's thin, I taped it to another piece of paper and ran them through my printer, and I printed these roses on them. Now, then I just tore around the rose, and I'm going to show you what I did to get these curly edges. It's not hard, not even a real technique. So let me pull something out of here. That's not good. I'm going to pull that one out. This will work. This is what I was using before. I saved one just to show you. This one has not been inked. So let me grab the ink I want. Okay, with my dauber thing. And at first what I did was I just went around the edges to kind of, and I don't know if you can see it, and I'm using the edge of my sponge. I'm just doing that to kind of get that darker little bit of an edge along the very edges of the piece. And it doesn't matter if you go up a little bit because this is very shabby. Doesn't matter if while you're doing this you tear it a little bit. As a matter of fact, it'll probably work in your favor because of how you want it to look. So get those edges first. I'm not sure how well you can see this because of my hands, but okay. So there we've got the edges. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this over just so that, oh, well, that's not going to help me either. Let me see if I can find a better one here. Here. We'll use this one. Okay. Then I just held it taut between my fingers like this, and I rolled it. I just kind of went around and rolled it. And you can see, I think you can see already, you hold that up, you can see that it is curling on its own. Okay? So, doesn't take much. Just go around the edges and go in like in a circular motion, and it will roll. Now, that being said, what I'm using is quite thin and quite delicate. I think it's maybe a little bit heavier than tissue paper, but a little bit thinner than like a baking parchment. So if you can find this dry wax paper, it's like made for wrapping sandwiches, like in delis or something like that, in delicatessens. If you can find it, then that's fine. I think you'll still get a similar thing, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? A similar look with tracing paper, especially if you get the more inexpensive tracing paper. That's a little bit thinner and not a heavier weight. So that's really it. That's all it took. And it's done, and it looks really neat. And these, we're just going to glue these, and I'm gluing these with, I haven't put anything together. I have inked, but I haven't put anything together, and I will back this card. Now, this card was this color, okay? I couldn't get the color I wanted. I ordered it on Amazon. Quite honestly, it looked darker than this. It looked more of a rose color. I couldn't get it. So what I did was I mixed up, I have the re-inker bottles of several of the colors, and I made a big, well, not a big, but like a container, a small container of water, put the water in, put a couple of dropperfuls or whatever it was that I did of the rose. I took a sponge brush and I dipped that into the ink paint that I made, and then I just brushed it onto here. I did it twice and let it dry. It did curl, but if I do this, it uncurls. So I'm going to back these, probably not in this video, because it'll be too long. But I'm going to just back these with some tea stain paper. And the paper that I'm using, let me show you, for some of the pages in this book, I call it honey paper. Only because, and I'll show you the difference. Hang on. This is, for me, regular tea stain paper. Okay, and then this is my honey, what I call honey stain paper. I think you can probably see the difference between the colors, okay? And what I used in here, I used something, it's an Irish tea called Barry's tea, and it has a little bit of a red tint to it. And I used about a half of a teaspoon of instant coffee, and then 6 drops of yellow food coloring. And this is the color that I got. So if you're looking for something like that to add a little golden to your books, especially if you're doing like a bee journal or something like that, which some of this is going in the bee journal, which I think there'll be a video up, just a bonus video up before this one, telling you about my next giveaway. And that is going to be a bee journal. So anyway, so these are the colors. That's the colors that I'm using, because I had so much gold in this particular piece here, and I'll be backing these cards with that color. So in the meantime, let's get this going. We're going to just try to put this together real quick, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do for tabs, because I'm going to put tabs. There'll be a little bit of lace here, which actually I can put the lace on too. Well, of course I will, but there'll just be a little bit of lace that's going to edge the long pockets and the short pockets, as it were, on either side of that the floral strip. I'm going to have lace, but there'll be no other lace or no other ribbon. This is a pretty busy looking piece. So I was debating back and forth, should I introduce another pattern into it? Because it already had 3 and I didn't want to do another one, so what should I do? And blah, blah, blah. And I did end up putting another pattern into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in here. And I will probably, and I'm going to use the 3-in-1 and just kind of lightly go around. I want to get close to the edges, but I don't necessarily want to lose those curls too much. You do need to be careful, of course, taking these in and out, and eventually I would suppose after being in the pocket, those curls will probably flatten out a little bit, but okay, so we're just going to smooth that on. And I may come back and, you know, do something else with it. I don't know. Might put some little labels or, you know, something like that on here. We'll see. But what I'm going to do for tabs is I made these tabs to go on them, okay? And how I made these, this was a die cut, okay? And all it was, it's like a flower shape. Let me get this extra glue off of here. It's like a flower shape, and I'll show you that in a second. And I'll show you what I did. Here's the large one. I didn't do the whole set of them so that I can show you what I did. So this was the die cut, okay? What you get for the die cut. And I have, I don't know, there's 6 sizes or something. So I just, you know, put them up against the piece and decided which size I wanted. And then all I did was cut them. So I had these 3 bumps, or whatever you want to call them. So I just cut them this way. Okay, so there's one. Turned it around and cut the other side like so. Okay, then you're left with this neat little thing. So who knows what you could use that for. It's like its own little label. And then I just glued, and again, this was that same light pink that I made dark pink by using the Victorian velvet. So I just put a little glue on the top of the tab up there and glued it, and then when I put them on the card, I will actually glue them down better. So that's what's going to go here on these cards, okay? I just wanted to show you. I'm not going to do them now because I have to back the cards with the tea stain paper, which I'll probably do off camera. But I'm also going to, I hope, punch a little hole, put the eyelet in, and I have a few charms I think I'm going to hang off of these. So I have a couple of hearts and I have a couple of small keys, and I'm probably going to do that on these. So that's what that's going to look like. And like I said, I may go back and put some labels or something, but again, those things we can do off camera for now. I'll just leave that on there so that you can kind of see what it looks like when we're done. So let's continue on. Try to get these done quickly because there's 4 of these small ones and then there's 2 larger ones, and I'd like to try to decorate, I hope, the larger ones in this video because they'll be a little bit fancier, and or at least partly decorate them and see what we can do with that. So that looks pretty good, I think. Okay. There we go. So while I was cutting and preparing and doing all this stuff today, I was catching up on a few videos. So I did get to watch Gail Augustinelli, and I did get to watch Angela Kerr as well. Angela's beginning a new journal with her To Have and to Hold paper, which just looks stunning. So I was watching one of those videos of hers, and Gail was making some ephemera because, you know, doing her Scrappy Saturday piece, I think it was. Oh no, tomorrow's going to be her Scrappy Saturday. Today's Friday. For me, well, by the time you see this, I'm not sure what day it'll be. I think I have a video coming up tomorrow, which is, I don't know, what is tomorrow? The 26th, which is Saturday. So that's coming up tomorrow. And then I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to try to stick these on if I can. This one didn't go very well. I may have to redo that, or I can ink it or something. I'm going to put it this way. We'll put it on the side you can't see the mistake on. How's that? All right, we're just going to sit that there. Okay. So that one, so by the time you see this, you'll already know what that one was if you are watching the series. That one is, I think I call it my angled pocket, I think. Pocket and tag. So that's on the 26th of February. Then March 1st, or no, 2nd, March 2nd, I think, is a simple pocket and tag set, and a pocket that I was going to put it in, which by the time you see the video, I will have something, will have done something different to the pocket because I didn't like how it was. Well, anyway, ultimately you will see all of that in the flip through when it's done. So that is on the 2nd. So then this one that you're watching now, it should be March 9th. No, I'm sorry, March 5th. This one's March 5th. I think, yes, this one would be March 5th. So I'm not writing this down. I'm just kind of, you know, winging it. But this one should be March 5th. And then the next one I was going to do was going to be the diagonal pocket one that I had done with the hidden, I'm just going to push this down so it doesn't come flying off, with the hidden like diagonal cards that went in the pockets. And so yeah, they were hidden. So that's a hidden something. There's nothing hidden in, well, there is something hidden in here. Those little side panels come out. The one that I did the simple pocket, which is, what day did I say that was? The 2nd? That's on March 2nd. I call that one my domed pocket and tag because it's got a dome top. It's very simple and very plain. I may figure out a way to zhuzh it up a little bit. I don't know. But at least in the video, you'll see the construction and the papers that I did use. And who knows what it may look like by the time I get to the flip through. So I'm just going to take off this extra glue here. All right, and we'll get this one on. Okay. So I hear my dog bouncing around up there. It's not so much a bounce, it's kind of a thumping is really what it is. Bless his sweetheart. His birthday's coming up. He'll be 14 on the 14th of March. So, yeah, he's getting up there, little fella. I remember when we brought him home and we stopped at an ice cream place on the way back because at that time, where were we living? Oh, we were living in New York, in Westchester County, and my in-laws, my husband's parents, who, well, did breed the dogs. They are not breeding anymore because they're in their 80s. And it's just getting difficult for them. So they've stopped breeding their dogs. And, but, you know, they were just private breeders. They didn't have great big kennels or anything like that. And so, okay, I was going to say, I cannot possibly have lost my pretty pin. Okay, here we go. Let's put that away. Do that for a second. Let's pull this one out. Oh, you know what? I see why that one didn't fit, because it's the wrong one. I took a big one and put it on the small card. Okay, so that's just going to go there. This one's going to go here. Get that on that one. And then just for the sake, one, of kind of keeping things cleaned up, I'm going to put these into here so you can see how they go. Okay, so these are the pockets right here, and they're going to go in here like so. And like I said, they should, I think I will put little dangles on them. So we've got these two on this side. I'm just trying not to let go of these tabs. So they go in like so. Okay? And then, like I said, we've got these pieces that pull out on the side. So that was my tweezers. Okay, so these are the bigger ones. And then the question is going to be, what am I going to do with them? Let me check my time. Okay, that's not too bad. I think we can manage here. Oh, I didn't ink these, though. I can see that, so let me get these done. There's always something I forget. And I'm not doing a whole bunch of ink. I just mostly want the white edges not to show. And this card, this pink card, had a white core. So I have to use my Victorian velvet there. I did on the edges of the small cards use the brush corduroy, but again, I didn't do a very heavy line of it, so you really can't tell. But on these bigger ones, I'll use the Victorian velvet and get that done. So well, again, when I say I'm going to start a new work week, you'll see this in the middle of the week. But nonetheless, when you see this, it will be March, the golden month, when the robins return, at least this far north. Oh, I already did this one. When the robins return and things start to bloom, if we ever get rid of enough snow, there may be things growing under the snow for all I know. I don't know. It's my Victorian velvet. I'm going to do these and just go along the edge like so. Okay. And yeah, so the snowdrops and the crocuses and all those nice little pretty flowers that start to grow and remind me that even in the dead of winter, the trees and the bulbs and other things are already preparing and already starting their journey into bloom. Now, we don't see it. It's all underground or inside the trees, but it's happening. It is happening. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get these down. When I do these flowers, I'm not going to put them right in the middle. I am going to put them about 2/3 up. My husband is calling me, I think. He may be coming down the stairs any second. So I'm going to put them about 2/3 up and do a little other decorating. I told you I'm going to try my hand at, like, you know, more layering and collaging kind of things. I'm breaking into it slowly, guys. So we'll see. Trying to be a little more creative, and it doesn't matter which way this is going, because As long as I get the picture in the right place, I'm good. So we have that. Okay. So he had just run out to do an errand. Now he told me before he was going to go snow blow the neighbors on either side of us, which he usually does. But I don't know. I told him dinner was going to be ready in less than 10 minutes and he didn't go, and I don't think he ever did. So I don't know. But in any case, so let's get the glue down here. Come on. My little stopper thing did finally let go right after I said in that video where I said, it's a little, you know, loose or whatever, but it's still holding. Yeah, well, that night it came right off. So I came up with something else. I took a piece of the, one of the baby wipes, the dry wipes, and then I took tape and I taped it all down. And so far it's been holding. I don't know how long that'll stay, because I think eventually, just my handling the bottle is going to loosen the tape up. But it's working for now, and I think even if the tape does come loose, you know, start to roll or something, you know, start to come loose just from wear, I don't think it'll be any or too much of a problem for me to go ahead and just pull that off and start again, you know, just do it over. So I'm hoping. So that is what I'm thinking. So we have that so far. All right, now we want to make sure that now they're facing the right direction. Got a little guy on the back there. Okay. And now we're going to put the flowers on. So I have, it's the same one. I just have it facing opposite directions. So I'm going to leave it, even though I know I'm going to be putting these tabs up here, I'm going to leave a little bit of room because I may want a little label or a butterfly. Most likely I've got all these butterflies and stuff over here, and I've got a bunch of labels to my side that I haven't cut because I don't know exactly which ones I may want to use until, of course, I kind of see this down. And again, I don't know how much of that we're going to get on here. I will do my best. Okay, so let's pick this up and knock over my glue and put that down there. Okay, push this one to the side a little bit. And again, I'm not too worried about the edges. If I feel I want to glue them down a little bit more, I will. But I said I don't do much different stuff. I'm going to try to get some different kinds of paper into the book. I've already got a lot of digitals in here, and I like to have a lot of blank paper, which I usually stencil on it. A little lower. Okay. I usually stencil on it anyway. But and this one I think I'm going to have to glue down just because that's going to go into the pocket that way. Because this is the side that's going to stick out, and I know if I try to put that in the pocket, it's going to tear. So, sticking to my fingers. Okay, so we have that. Let me put these to the side for a second. Like I said, I pulled out a whole bunch of stuff. But what I do want to do now is I want to get the lace on. I covered it with this paper. Yeah, okay. I did not pre-cut my lace. So let's start with the big one. The big one, or bigger one, is going to go this way on this pocket, okay? So let me dig out my scissors. I need to get this end straight-ish. We say straight-ish for me because, you know. Okay. And I think they're watching a basketball game upstairs. So, and they're kind of almost right above me. So just to my left. And I do believe my husband is on the phone with his friend, and my brother-in-law is here, you know, with my husband. And if they do anything right, I'm sure you'll hear them cheer. So, okay, so we're going to get this one right along there. Okay. And then I have to cut like that. And then I think, actually, I think I can cut that a little better if I can get this off, the glue off my fingers a little bit. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. Just this little edge. Hey. All of you. All the little threadies. Okay. More or less. All right, I want this one a little straighter. So let me snip that. And this one I'm going to pre-measure so that I don't have to worry about that. All right, so that's going to go from here to here. We're going to cut this one right here. And I am done with that part. Put that over there. And okay, here we go. Okay, I am hoping that they won't be too loud. Let's just hope. All right, so let's get this on here like so. Try to make that a little bit straighter. Try to use the pattern on the lace to kind of go along the edge of the pockets as best I can and try to get it straight. Sometimes it doesn't look straight to me anyway, so I might play with it a little bit. So there we have that. That's the larger one. Now the smaller one, the larger one was on the small roll, and the smaller one is on this big thing. So, oh, let me close this up. Let me close that up. There we go. I didn't realize it was still open. So the smaller one, it's the same pattern, more or less. It's just thinner. So I wanted that on the side of the pockets that had the smaller cards. So that's going to go up there. So let's go ahead and pre-cut that as well. I think that's that one, right? Make sure. Yep, right there. Right here. That is right. That is right. Okay. And then let's do another one for over here. Push that up a little bit. I know I'm working right at the edge of your site here with this. But okay, well, we'll get this out of the way and put that over there for right now. All right. Glue. And we'll get this side glued down. Okay. Whoops. That's probably not a good thing. So I did that right next to the tag. All right, get over there, you. Okay, and then let's go ahead and put that down. And I'll turn it this way to make sure it looks straight to me. Oh, my brother-in-law's laughing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Okay, so that's that one. Turn this one this way. Whoops. And get some glue on here. Okay. Oop, I think it goes this way. And put that right there. And turn this. Make sure that looks straight. And like I said, I try to cut it so that I don't cut the pattern. So I cut at the edge of this oval and I cut at the edge of this oval. Same on here. Now here it wasn't a problem, but here I needed to stretch it just a little bit to make it fit. So that's what that's about. So sometimes I stretch it a little bit to get it where I want it to be. Okay, so these still go in and out, so I didn't glue anything. Whoops, pulled the tab right off. All right, like I said, I just want to keep them on. This way, one, hopefully they won't get lost because they are kind of sticking here. And two, just so that you can see what it will look like, more or less. But like I said, I'm not putting the backing on in this video for the sake of time. Okay, so let's do the decorating here. And these are going to go over where I stitched. So they're going to go on here like this. Okay, one way and one the other way. So let's get those down. And we'll do that. Okay. So I hope everybody's doing well, feeling well. I know I've seen in a lot of the Facebook groups, there's been some illness, either with some of our journaling friends or family members. And so there's been a lot of prayers being asked for and prayers being offered. And for my sake, I'm going to use this leaf to show me where I need to be. So we'll do that. And of course the whole Ukraine situation, which is just a shame. So a lot of prayers are needed, a lot of well wishes and hugs and hopes. But in the meantime, we keep going. And I think as creators, crafters, artists, whatever we want to call ourselves, I think it's almost our duty to continue on with what we do, to bring beauty, beauty into the world, to bring beautiful things into the world, to do things that bring joy and normalcy and peace to people. Not just ourselves for, being able to create, but to the people who are the recipients of whatever it is we do, and whether we sell or give or swap or whatever it is we're doing with our stuff, the things that we make. We're making beautiful things, and we're filling the world with beauty and goodness and hope and promise and legacies, and I think that's a wonderful thing. So keep it up. Keep it up. All right, before I put any butterflies on here, let's go back to these, and let me check my time, because I don't want to take, we're getting pretty on to the hour here. So I'm going to go ahead and I will decorate these with the little bits and pieces off camera. I'm just going to stick these on for the sake of doing this, and we will, yeah, that one goes this way. And we'll just stick these in the pocket. Of course, this one doesn't want to go in because it's sliding off. And where's the other one? Here we go. And we'll put this one on this one and kind of slide this into the pocket, and we will put on butterflies, just for the sake of, I didn't want to put the butterflies on until, I think this one's a little, oh no, what am I stuck on here? I don't think, there we go. I might have to cut those tabs a little bit, bring them down. Oh, there you go. I don't know what I was stuck on, but it went in now. Okay, we'll pull that one out a little bit. Yeah. All right, so now let's look at our butterflies. I didn't go around the edges yet with any ink, but it can be done. and trying to decide. I have a few, I think I have 4. I have 2 that are the same, but their color is slightly different. All right, so let me see. It's not going to take very many butterflies, I'll tell you. I have a whole bunch of them over here, but I will probably be using them throughout the book in many cases. So this one we can put here, and then what about, I need one that's a little more yellow. Not that one. Oh, you know what? What about this one? Okay, we'll do this one. It's a little smaller. Well, let's do this one. Okay, I think that'll work. Get a little ink around the edges of this one. And then that one will go here. And I think that'll be fine. I'm not going to glue them down right now, again, for the sake of time. But this is more or less what we have. I'm trying to find if I have something I can just lay down underneath it here. I have some cheesecloth here. We'll unroll my cheesecloth, and we'll put that here a little bit, just so that you can see this a little nicer than on my gray mat. So that's what we have. That's what we've done so far. And then these just pull out from the side here and from the side here. So those are your hidden spaces. And then you have all of the tags. So that's it. We'll continue on. I'll continue on with this. I'll finish it off camera, and you will see it completed in the flip through, the final flip through of the Olivia journal. Hopefully within a couple or 3 weeks it should be finished. Let's hope. Okay, so in the meantime, everybody stay safe, stay happy, and be blessed. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.